Hello and welcome back. This is Prodigy, and these are the strategies videos that I'm recording to help people out for our tournament coming up January 28th. It's only $40 to enter, but over $1,300 in prizes, or at least in cash, and then there's a few prizes as well. So yeah, sign up. Check out the links in the description right now and check it out. So like I was saying, this is the third strategies video. So the very first strategy video I'd released was just a full course playthrough. So it's the strategies that I use that are a little bit more conservative to give myself either a 2 or 3 and hopefully a 4 or possibly a 4 on some holes to get the lowest score, but without trying for those major hole-in-ones. So the first video was the course playthrough. The second video I released was strategies for hole 1, which was what I just passed, hole 2, which is here, hole 3, which I am passing here. I also showed a little bit of the vertical labyrinth there, so check that out. And then finally ending with hole 4 over here, which was a nightmare. So check that out. That's the second video, also links in the description. So let us move on. We are gonna go to hole 5. So this is hole 5. And the first strategies video I did show, I think I tried to go through this port right here, and I missed and it rolled back. And I think it ended up in here, but I ended up getting a 3 or 4 anyways. So that's not bad, that's not horrible, but I want to show you the hole-in-one. I was able to get a hole-in-one earlier, so I want to show you how I did that. And then also along the way, if I make some mistakes, maybe we can kind of show you some other strategies of getting out of some tight situations if you do try for the hole-in-one. The hole-in-one is not a great idea. It's pretty risky, in fact. So what you're going to have to do, the ideal situation is from this tee pad, you want to strike it up. You want to just barely miss this block here and get up and hit that reflector up there. And you want to just barely pass this. Probably like a little too close and you're not there, but probably about right here is where you want to be to hit that back reflector, which in turn flicks the ball this way, sends it through this tunnel here, down on the ground and into the hole. I've noticed there are 2 different ways of doing this, both of which you can't really control, but what might happen is if you hit it here, hit the ball here, and it hits this back, it'll strike off and get a trajectory that is more left in turn. So you head out over here, hit 2 rails and go in. So that's one way you can do it. Second way is to hit this reflector here and go straight through without any interference. So if you do that, you get more speed, obviously, because if you hit the rail, it's going to slow down a little bit. So it is more difficult. But if you can hit this and clear this in one shot, you can roll down here and it actually will. You got about, I don't know, 8 inches of clearance here to go right into the hole. So let's begin. I want to show you how this works. Hopefully we can get it first try. That would actually be pretty fun. But again, if I do miss any times, maybe I can kind of show you what I do in the meantime while the ball's in a difficult situation. What I will also note is that for the hole-in-one, you kind of have to strike it a little harder than you normally would, but there's large consequences to that. If you do hit this ball hard, it hits that reflector, goes off, hits that left bank, and bounces all the way back, right down and rolling right out of ground or out of bounds. So you don't want to do that. If anything, you want to hit this, connect this left rail and hit it soft enough so it hits into this chute and falls out here into this area. You definitely want to be here as opposed to rolling off, because then you have to start over. At least from here, you can bank it off here and get a 3. So, or maybe even 2, but I haven't really done that. But yeah, let's try this out. So hole-in-one, here we go. Let's see if we can do this. All right, just right of that kind of a bank right there in the middle. Okay, I was able to clear it, and it actually goes all the way back here, which again, not bad. You'd rather be here than most places on the course. So, from here, it's actually kind of a straight shot. So let's just see. Yeah, I don't think it'll make it up, but yeah, so that's one strategy. Let's see if we can still make this work. All right, take 2. Okay, now that time it actually hit one of these and slowed down greatly. So that's why it only made it to there, but this actually isn't horrible either. So there's your secure 2. Let's keep trying. I want this hole in one. And then after this, maybe I'll kind of show you an alternate strategy, a very safe strategy, which I don't normally take because I do like to try to go out through that port at the top, which to me is a little bit easier, but you can also strike it here to try to get it into this area on 1, bank it off the right in 2, and then make it in 3, but that's a very, very safe 3. Ooh, that was dangerous. Yeah, so you don't really want to be here. So let's keep trying. Yowzer. So that took a weird turn. The ball was spinning a lot. So when it hit, it kept spinning to the right. It was really interesting. It must have hit something on the way out, but yeah, this wouldn't be a bad 2, but let's keep trying. There's another on the green, a little further, but we can do it. Ooh, blocked by this. It's not necessarily a wall wart, as we spoke about in the other videos. This is just more of a block, honestly. So is this. Wall warts would be more like this. This is actually a Kaizo wart right here. This is an unmarked wart. It just kind of pops up. You don't even see it. But yeah, this hole doesn't have too many of them. It just has this hidden one here and this block here. So, but you have again, about an 8-inch clearance here. So let's keep going. Ooh, yeah. This back is very difficult. This is a very short green. I think this is the first of the, no, actually hole 3 is pretty short, but this is definitely a very short green where, you know, you're coming in at a speed to try to get that hole in one, you're gonna hit this back and most likely you're gonna roll off here. So that is another consequence of hitting it that hard to try to get that hole in one. You could definitely hit it much softer and leave it here. Though it's, you know, I guess here would be better than back here, but you also have the possibility of rolling way back and bouncing into here, which I've done. So let's keep trying. So you hit it too hard, again, it pops out here. This is actually a best case scenario of getting hit back to here because most of the time it rolls right out. If you can get it to stop here, that's great. So I actually just see an opportunity here to show you what I would do in this situation. From here, I think I can get a 3 because you can bank it off that back wall, bank it off that, and send it just into here. I think it should be relatively easy to do. Let's see how easy it might be. And there it is. Pretty clear to the hole. You just standardly sit up here, off the back wall, and in. Let's keep trying for that hole in one now. Ooh, stop by the stop right there. That's unfortunate. Too bad. Come on. Getting there. This left trajectory over here seems to be the most common, though I think it's easier and better to be over here. So I might start hitting a little softer. I think that might actually work because if you're heading this way, you don't need that extra space and that extra length to get over to here, so you don't have to hit it as hard. And again, when you don't hit it as hard, it tends to go this way. So let's try it a little softer. Definitely softer. And it hit that one. So probably a little harder, get it a little bit left to get it right up. But I think the speed was good on that. Yeah, that was good. That was softer than normal and it was good. Just got to hit it slightly harder. Getting there. So sometimes even going through there is not 100% either because you might as well have hit it off the tee out to here because this is a little more difficult. So, yep. So it's not always the best, but let's keep trying. B-L-O-K-T. Blocked. Another block. I'm gonna call this Minute Bowl or LeBron James, whichever you prefer. I prefer Minute Bowl. Yeah. Hey, off the block. We'll call this one LeBron. This is Minute. Yeah, I don't know what we'll call this yet. I haven't even hit it. So it's just there, I guess. But yeah, hit off this. So sometimes this can be good, but almost there. Almost. Come on. Let's go. Off the back wall. That's not bad. So yeah, that's that. I did notice something. All the times that I landed over here, the ball was doing this wicked spin. Must have been that way, I guess, counterclockwise. Because when it hits this back wall, it puts such a spin on it and actually like turns the ball. So that can be good or bad, but I just noticed it. It was kind of interesting. Before we move on to hole 6, I want to kind of show you the strategy that if you want to take so that there's no risk involved, or at least extremely minimal risk, you still take from the right tee pad as you did for all these. So I don't even have a strategy for the left tee pad. I don't even know why it's there. But what you're going to want to do is strike it right down here. You got about, I don't know, another 8 inches of view right here. Bank it off this, bank it off that, and leave it right here. The better, or at least, I don't know, the more middle, the more center you put it right here, the better chance of banking off this right, and maybe even going in or getting on the green. But if all else fails, just putting it right here for a nice 3. So you can almost guarantee a 3 on this hole if you just do this first putt a little lighter, so that you don't even have to use this ramp at all. So hopefully this is a no risk strategy. Let's see what happens. Okay, so that's about as center as you want it. That's not bad. So you go off this right wall, and what I'm going to try to do is get about right here, because if I hit about right here, it's going to head right up down to the green. So let's try smacking it a little bit and just see what happens here. Blocked by Minute. But yeah, I mean, even here, you're right here. So hopefully, let's just see how good I really am here. Nice. So maybe not a guaranteed 3, but it's a very safe 3 taking that way. So this is just your, if you don't want to go for a 1 or 2, 2 is very, very not probable, but at least you get a chance to do it. But yeah, so that is hole 5. Let us move on to hole 6. One of the easiest hole-in-ones on the course. I would say, you know, hole 2 is the easiest so far. Hole 5 kind of, it's accessible. It's not easy, but at least it's like probable if you try it 20 times. I don't know how many times that took me, maybe 30 or so. So it's more up there in the, you know, top 3 easiest as of this point right now. Again, to review, hole 4, definitely by far the hardest. Hole 1, second hardest. I'm gonna say it goes, this hole 5 is 3rd hardest, 4th hardest so far is 3, and 5th hardest, or the easiest so far, is hole 2. So, all right, so let's move to 6, and I think 6 falls in there again right after hole 1 or hole 2. This one has a couple strategies. Hopefully I can do this in the first try. I'm pretty good at it. The very difficult part about this is not even just getting it in line with the cup, because you can use any of these tee positions. It really doesn't matter, because in the end, it's not that much of a difference, because you're going to be hitting this right and sending it up here, and you're going to be going so slow because you want it to stop in here. You go too hard and it goes past. I think in the first playthrough video, I ended up striking it too hard, went down there, and I think I sank it on 2 anyways, but this ramp right here is going to send you more left. So the slower you go, it's going to head up and kind of turn left. That's just the way it naturally goes. You go too soft and it heads down here, and you are probable to come down here. And then it's a very difficult shot because it's a very small window there. Hit it too hard And that's probably the ideal situation as opposed to hitting it too soft. Obviously hitting it perfect is great, but hitting it too hard will send you this way. Since I think early December, I leveled this a little bit more. So it used to have a wicked left turn, and right now it's just like it's like a mid left turn. It's not too hard, or left from this side, right from this way. So it doesn't affect the ball as much. So when you're putting up from here, it sends a little bit right, but not horrible. It used to just kind of stick to this rail like a magnet, and then you'd knock it off from there. So, but let's see if I can get this first try. That would be pretty wonderful, actually. I'm gonna go from tee position 3. Again, it doesn't matter too much on this one, but it's whatever you feel is more comfortable. But again, you want to hit it just before this opening right here to send it right up there and hopefully go in. Let's see how practiced I am at this. Too soft. All right. Well, not first try. And that's actually ideal too. It actually hit this. Some of the times, or I'd say most of the time, it rolls over here and keeps going. So this isn't actually too bad. From here, if you happen to be lucky and hit it here, this is a much better, because in the end, when you're going straight up onto, especially this green, you have about 2.5 feet of length. If you're coming in on it on an angle like this, you've got about 1.5 to 2 feet to work with here, another 2 feet here, and then you've got another 1.5 here. So in length, you've got more of a chance of leaving it on the green, if not making it. So what I'm going to want to do is hit about right here, or maybe a little further, because you're going to end up getting a little left turn on this. So let's see how good I do. Yeah, there you go. And it's too hard. Look at that. All right, off the wall wart, which was good. So that was actually nice that it hit that. So from here, I think in that playthrough video, the first video I did, I might have used that back rail. I think that's what I ended up doing, because I ended up being down here in 1, which is good. And then if you use this back rail, again, you give yourself 2.5 to 3 feet, and then 2.5 to 3 feet back. So that's a good 6 feet of green to stop it in. So that's ideal. Might as well, let's just go for it. Let's see if I can make it. You're gonna get a little left turn from that ramp. So I'm gonna aim a little right, and then also there's a slight right turn on this. So actually, I'm gonna go back left and gonna go straight for the cup and see what happens. All right, good speed though. So I ended up getting a 4, not ideal at all. That's good speed. Yeah, that was perfect speed, other than a little harder would have been good, but yep. That's where you want to leave it if you don't make it. You want to keep it right there on the green. Ooh, another light touch. Come on, let's do this. Ooh, wall wart. Yeah. Thanks, buddy. That was rare of it. He likes me today. Oh yeah, that felt good. Definitely good. Yeah, I like that a lot. Other than it going in, that was really good. Good speed. Perfect. Ooh, that was good speed. Little off angle, but perfect speed. So I've noticed something. I've been using this right tee position this whole time, and the ball's been landing a little bit more to the right of the cup. I want to see if I can use this this middle tee position, if not this left one again, just to see if that trajectory helps at all. So let's see if this helps. Good speed. Ooh, I think that helped. I think that was it. So let's blame it on the tee position. Middle tee position is the official strategy from Prodigy. That seems to work. So good, I'm glad I did that. It's still, I think, even though that took me like 10 or 11 tries, or I think it was like 11, it's still the easiest of all the holes. I do think so, because when you do get that speed down, you should be able to leave it on this green anytime. And as, if you're right or left of the hole, it doesn't really matter. If you have the right speed, you should be able to put it in for 2. That should be pretty good for you. I do want to show another strategy a very, very conservative strategy. If you are worried about hitting it too slow and having it roll back, because that is definitely, you know, it didn't happen to me many times, but you know, you can land back here, which makes it pretty horrible in the end. So let me see if I can show you this. So no matter what, you're gonna wanna go down this right side regardless. Going down the left side is just pointless. If you wanna, you know, impress your friends and go off this, that's great, that's awesome. But for the most part, this right area here is the way you want to go. Now, instead of trying to hit it soft, hit it, you know, normal length. Aim it down towards here, so strike it pretty hard where you can come down here and hopefully bank it off this and roll back here. I don't think you'll be able to hole in one it from here, but maybe I'll try to do that in the future. That might be something. But most likely you can land it right here for a nice 2 or 3 at the most if you want to, again, play it very conservatively, bank it off this back wall and leave it here for a putt in. So let me see if I can make this work. I don't really use this strategy often, but let's just say I wanted to, like, you know, I'm in the way lead, I just want to cut a 3 on this. So I'm going to hit a little harder, send it down there, see if you can bounce off this and leave it here. So, you know, I think probably the same probability of just hitting it too hard, even trying to go for this so that you roll over here and leave it here. Maybe you have a chance of rolling all the way back here if you try that, but at least this way, you're pretty much guaranteed a spot here. So let me just try to bank it off that back wall, you know, get that going there. And then there you go. There's your easy 3. So that, you know, that might be a strategy as well, but I wouldn't use that. I would always go for hole in one on this. Okay, moving on. Hole 7. This is pretty fun. This is very reminiscent of the first hole where I think there's only one strategy on this. Bank it off this right wall, bank it off the left wall, send it down here. Now, what happens in the third quadrant here is everything, especially if you're trying for that hole in one, or even a 2, let's just say. Okay, first of all, you want to avoid all that garbage in here, and you want to send it in here. Now, let's just say, best case scenario, you bounce it cleanly. You're coming in here. So if in order to get this hole in one, what I've noticed is you have to bank it straight off this, I don't know, angled piece here. If you bounce off this wall whatsoever, it'll go off here and it'll roll up and land over here. There's no way for that ball to get over to this pocket, or at least this hole, with going off this wall first. You just can't do it. You have to bang this wall first and hop it straight in. And actually that trajectory is very, very good. And this is a very steep ramp, so it actually goes a little bit more right, turns left, and goes right in. So like I said, you want to clear all this in here. Maybe in some of these attempts, this is not a real easy one. You actually have to strike the ball a little harder than I would like people to hit, but at the same time, if you really want to go for that hole in one, there's a lot of possibility of bouncing out, which can be very dangerous, or there's a lot of possibility of visiting the other hole. Check out my playthrough on the course as the first strategies video. I'll kind of explain how this hole works, but in real short summary, you're going down this left side, hole 8 is down that side, and there's a common fairway here. So most people that play the course correctly, let's say you're a group of 2, 3, or 4, everybody plays through the hole once. So I start the hole until I finish it, or 7 strokes, whichever comes first. Then I remove my ball from the hole and the next player starts. When you start getting too many balls, or even 2 balls on the course, that's not what I designed it for. I designed you to clear the hole before the next person goes, so that there's no ball interference at all. But this hole, 7 and 8, and also 12 and 13, when we get to that, you'll see, or again, go through the first playthrough video, you'll notice that there's a possibility of running into the next person's ball, which is part of the game. So that is the only time that you really need to avoid, given you can just wait. There's no time limit. Just let someone play through and then you can play through. But what I do like about this is this common area. You hit it too hard, hits this wall wart, sends it over here. As if you've ever played this course, sometimes you can land over here, which is not good whatsoever. Sometimes you land down here, and I mean, you're on hole 7 and you're all of a sudden over here, and you got to use all these weird angles right here. And I did make this especially this angle, not a 90-degree angle, because you can't predict it. This is not a good block at all. So, but in the end, you know, you want to strike this wall, clear everything here. The best case scenario, I think, is to hit it so that it just barely misses this. Because when you hit this left here, as you can see, there's a straight shot to that back trajectory block. The further down you get here, the less of a chance you have of making it, and most likely you're gonna hit this, which will 100% send you over here. Or you hit down here, it'll hit this wall, and not that bad, it'll hit here and leave here, or it'll hit this and pop up here. You won't hole in one. So if hole in one is your necessity, that's not gonna work for you. So let's try this out here. So I like to use T position 1 for that better angle. And I have a spot that I shoot for, and you'll kind of come up with your own. I don't want to necessarily reveal mine, but let's see what happens. Okay, so that time I did bank off this right wall, hit this trajectory plank, and landed up here. There was no way for that ball to ever get over to here. And I think I'm very lucky to get this far, and if not, right to the edge. But that is the most left you're gonna get by hitting this right wall first. So you're definitely gonna want to hit this straight on. So let's try this again. Ooh, that's more left than I've ever been going off that right wall, but again, it's still not ideal. Yes. Ooh, that was head on, applied directly to the forehead. That was really nice, a little hard. I could definitely hit it a lot softer, but that was so direct, right on. That was good. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Being over here is horrible. This is what happens when you try to go for that hole in one. Call me Mr. Consistency. It's very, very easy to get to the side, which is actually interesting. This is the shortest green. There's no doubt about it. You know, you've got about 1.4 inches here of green. Definitely the hardest green to stay on. Yet, with all the spin from the ball, it really grabs and creates, you know, maybe a lot of traction, and the ball really slows down up here. So for the most part, I stay up here, which is really interesting, even for as hard as I'm hitting it. So it's actually not horrible, but let's keep trying. Ooh, that was good. That was really good. A little softer though. That looks good. Oh, almost. There it is. Beautiful. Right off this directly. I don't think I've ever had it that perfect. So yeah, that was nice. Finally. Yeah, in summary, it's pretty basic. It just takes a lot of tries, and you eventually make it. So that was good. It was really good. So yeah, let's move on. So that is the last of the hole-in-one probabilities. So I think that was like, yeah, 1 through 7 have hole-in-one possibles. And then I'm going to finish off tonight with 8 and 9, and then we'll move on from there. But I don't consider this hole-in-oneable. 9's not hole-in-oneable. Neither is 10, 11, or 12, or 13. They all are hole-in-two-able. So let's go over the strategies for the 2 on these holes. I'm not even going to try for 1. What I will do after the tournament, January 28th, I am going to be working on the course to make every hole hole-in-oneable by adjusting a few things, but I'm keeping the course as is until the tournament, just so everyone can practice it and it stays the same. But ideally, to get a hole-in-2, so in my first playthrough, my regular conservative strategies playthrough, I end up going off this rail, off this, and bouncing over here. So sitting here on 1 is the ideal strategy in my mind. That's how I play. I try to leave it right here so that I can get a nice shot for 2 on the green. Gives you a nice wide area. Maybe make it. I think I've made it before, but it's not probable. But at least leaving it up here is very likely, and then striking it in for 3. But the hole in 2 is possible if you need to, shave off some scores and you want to take some high risks. Let's try this. So the idea is to putt it from here and use this rough and rough hop through this hole. If you hit it too hard, it hits the front of this, bounces back or up, and it doesn't go through. Hit it too soft, and it hits the front of this or the top of this. This is a very small entryway, and you're gonna wanna hit this rough hop, and you kind of have a wide possibility. So if you put the ball there, you have less of a hop here as opposed to here, which could still go through, and it's much higher up. So I don't know if you can see there, but this rough has an angle on it. There we go. Yeah, this rough has a nice angle on it. So whatever you prefer. I have heard people making it on the green in 1. I haven't seen it, but even if you do, that green leans a little left, which is something I'm going to work on after the tournament to push the green a little bit more right so that hole in 1 is possible. But I don't think you can get the speed going through here. So you want to hit it light just to leave it over here. You don't want to go too crazy, because even from here, you hit it off the left wall, back wall, and sink it in. So let's try to get that in 2. I think that's the only viable strategy for a 2, or at least viable strategy for the lowest score possible. I'm going to use this right tee pad because that at least gives me the best probability of getting through this and getting down far. If you go to the left, yeah, I guess it really shouldn't matter, but I just think that right, because just in case you do hit it hard enough, it'll bank off this, and go in if you have the speed, which again, I don't think I've ever had the speed on it, because I don't think you can make it through that hole. So let's putt nice and slow and see what happens. So if I miss this, I'm going to kind of show you the strategy of what happens if you miss it. You're looking at a 4 or 5 from there, if you're lucky. So this has high risk. I don't recommend it, but let's show the probability of a 2 on this hole. Nope, not hard enough. All right, so now you're here. You're going to want to bank it off that right wall, which, to be honest with you, you're going to have to hit this wall wart right in the middle, or I'm going to have to leave it down there. So let's see what possibilities of that happening are. Yep, not good at all. So now I'm just sitting 2. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll try a 3 rail here. Yeah, not good at all. And then I'm going to try for 4. And that's a 5. That's not a good situation on this hole. So let's keep trying for this 2. There it is. Nice clean shot there. You get a little roll back. So for the tournament, we're going to have a designated length to pull the ball off the rail. For casual play, we just use our club head, but the problem is, especially for the tournament, people are going to be bringing their own clubs, and you can always bring your own clubs anyways to this course, but it needs to be a standard length. And now you don't have to go the full length of the club head, because even if you do this, it seems pretty good, but if you feel like you want to try to angle it, or at least try to get it right in the hole, you can definitely leave it here if you want. But for this case, I'm just going to put it to the end, hopefully bank off this left wall in for 2. Nope, too hard. Let's keep trying though. 3's not bad. That looks good. Oh, see, that felt good. That was pretty slow, but it still hit the front lip. I think at that speed, if I were more to the right of this rough, it would have made it through. So, it's not just about speed, but it's also where you are when you approach this hole, because this is very drastic from the right to the left. So there it is, nice clean roll through. Back in this position, I'm going to take that full club head length banking off this left wall and bang into that. Ooh, that's harsh. Beautiful. All right, another chance here. Take that full club head length. I'm going to send it down. So I think depending on where you are here, going further down here is the better option. I don't think you should try to sink it from here. I feel like, you know, leaving it way left up further, bank it off the back wall to get in. I think that's the better strategy because that also leaves you more options in the end. So hopefully you get closer to the hole if you don't make it. Not hard enough. But, you know, again, playing off that back wall just gives you a lot more green room to find a place to leave the ball. Ooh, not clean, but through. So this will leave me a little longer of a putt. Maybe that might help though. Let's see. So I don't know if you could see it there, but definitely this this green leans pretty heavy left. So so even from back here, I was able to get it, and I got it pretty close to this, and it's still going off this back wall, still took a left. So, you know, you're gonna have to hit it pretty hard from back there to keep the ball up here because you gotta account for that light left turn on this. So keep that in mind. I felt that, that was good. All right, back here. You know, another strategy would be to going off that right side. I just feel like this left side is a little bit more safe. We might try that if I can't make it on the left. After a few more attempts, I might try that right, but let's try to stick to this strategy. Ooh, very close. Very, very close. Nice. Feels really good. When you clear this without hitting anything, it's just like, it just has a good feeling. I don't know what it is. All right. Let's see if I can make this work. I'm gonna hit a little harder. I think that's the play. You know, you're gonna probably risk a little bit more of going past the hole if you miss, but I think you have to hit it harder in order to avoid that left turn on the green. Just like that, maybe? Nope. A little too hard. Okay, at least I know it's possible. I'm gonna stay with this left. I think that right side is way more difficult because you would have to hit here and somehow make it work. And with this left lean on this, there's no hitting this wall and banking it back. So you got one attempt at it. So yeah, I'm gonna keep trying this side here. There it is, nice and clean. Good distance. There should be no reason why I can't make this. No reason at all. Yeah, right in it. That was nice. Yeah, I think that worked out really well. It was a nice clean shot through it. Great. I do want to talk about 7 and 8 real quick again, because I kind of alluded earlier that this is a shared fairway. There is another way of playing this course. If you do talk to your group ahead of time and you all agree on this, even though from this tee on 7, the hole is down there, there is the option of playing this hole for 7, where you have to go down here and take a heavy turn to come back this way. And then hole 8 would start here, and you have to do another heavy turn to this hole for 8. What you do want to do is avoid anybody else playing. So please do not do that if another team and another group is coming the other way, because that would just heavily confuse everybody, unless obviously everybody wants that same strategy and you can use that. But in general, and especially for the tournament, this hole is the hole for 7. And for hole 8, that is the hole right there. But in the future, yeah, if you want to have a little fun and play it that way, that's great too. I want to try something real quick because this happened a few times. So a couple times the ball landed there because I didn't get a clean breakthrough through this hole. I want to see if I can do something. So I think it landed like right there. I want to try this right turn. I just want to see what kind of angles I could possibly get off that. Okay. All right, that wasn't horrible. What's really good about that strategy though, that you do have a block right here. So in case it's going pretty hard, it can bounce off this. I still wouldn't take that right. There's just too many banks. If you're here, maybe, yeah, you know what? Maybe it's worth going that right side, but you know, if you're down here from a clean shot, I just don't see it beneficial going that right side. I think you should take this left side. So that's my recommendation. All right, so that was 7 and 8. So to complete the first half of the course, hole 9, here we go. This is gonna be the last hole I do tonight, and then next week I'm gonna release hole 10 through 13, and then finally right before the tournament, the week before the tournament, 14 through 17. That's my plan. So this is 9. 9 again is not hole-in-oneable in my mind. I bet if you smack it, or if you break the rules and chip it, which I do not like when people do that, but I could see how you could make a hole-in-one doing that, but it would just, it's too ridiculous. So what I am gonna show you is a hole-in-2. That's what I'm going to attempt. And that's kind of what I try for every time. There really isn't much of a bad side of this, because wherever you leave it, you're going to be pretty good for a 3, hopefully, if you're good at putting off the green. So I'll show you all these strategies here. So in the first playthrough video, what I kind of showed you was this right tee position. I don't see the left or the right being beneficial at all. This right tee position lines you up, just miss this wall wart right here. So you got this angle here, so that angle here gives you this angle. And what the really good scenario would be is to send it perfectly through here. You got about a 1-inch window. And if you hit it hard enough, you will hit this bank and leave it here for that too. So that's what we're gonna try for. The other alternative, like you know, if that doesn't fully work out and you end up banging a few things here, the other possibility is landing right here. So if you land right here, you got a shot. It's a very low possibility of a shot. I've done it before and it's perfect. It's probably about a 2-inch window here, and you can be anywhere from here to here. So hopefully maybe if it lands there, that'd be great. But best case, hit this wall, bank it straight up through here, hit off this, leave it out here. And even if you don't hit it hard enough and leave it here, you still has a possibility of banking it off that wall, which we would try anyway. So let's try these out. See if I can make this work here. So hole 9. And in the future, after the tournament, I'm not changing anything before the tournament, but after the tournament, I might make an option, a very difficult option, maybe a ramp or something, I don't know what yet, but to somehow get the ball off this, bounce it here and into here, and maybe a hole-in-one. Even from this tee pad, there is a direct line to the hole, so I don't know, maybe I'll make something that you can do that, because this would be a really fun hole to try to hole-in-one in. So, but let's try for this too here. All right. All right, so obviously this strategy is not foolproof. Let's try this again. Again, banking it off this. Now I cut it way too much. I gotta hit it way, maybe down here a little bit more. I hit it here, which clipped right there. So that's not a good thing. So that's okay. Let's try this again here. Okay, it still wasn't horrible. I don't have a shot directly at the green, but let's just see if I can still pull off a 3 here. From here, what I would do is hit this wall wart here on the front and hopefully leave it down here. See if I can do this. Oh, hit that. So there's your 2. And I'm gonna try, okay, from here, let's keep trying these ultimate strategies here if you land in these areas. So I'm gonna try to bank it off this and maybe even make it. Let's see. Ooh. Yeah, you got some sick wall warts here that make me sick. So yeah, we'll land in here. So a 4 would be something. But, you know, a 4 after trying all those things without, you know, because I could hit it a lot softer and just leave it here. And I think that's that's probably a better strategy than to try to hit it hard, because I'm trying to hit it hard enough to make it through here, to hit this, to get out here. So that's a pretty good strike, and there's a lot of room for error. So let's try this again. Okay, so even there, you know, you go off that, you leave it there, and you get your shot for 3. Easy. So this strategy doesn't have too many downsides if you don't hit it too wildly and try to keep it calm. Ooh, look at that. Almost made it. Just a little bit more left. I could get it closer to there. I would have hit that. And actually, you don't even have to hit this that hard to get it out here, because even if you're here, there's still a possibility. Or actually, you know what? Let's try this. So I left it here. Let's see if I can bank it off that wall. I don't think there's enough room, but let's just try this. Oh, there was enough room. All right, well, there's still your 3. Yeah. All right, that wasn't ideal, but it still worked. Still try it off that left wall. This seems to be a little bit more of a possibility. Ooh, hit the dead wood. All right, well, let's see if we can still make that 3. Nice. I think, you know, I think through trying this, you know, hitting off that wall and getting it over here is very, very difficult. So I'm gonna actually lay it up a little bit. I'm not gonna hit it as hard, and I'm gonna try to leave it here, because off that right wall or off that left wall kind of seems like a better play than to try to hit it really hard, because I'm finding hitting it hard, you have a lot more probability of getting in this garbage and flopping back. So let's try it a little softer. Oh. Look at that. Look at that line. What do you think? Put a little money on this. Ooh. Well. Well, there's something. Yeah, I guess that's another idea. Instead of trying to squeak it through here, you can just take it off this right wall. Maybe get a couple banks here. So this is a pretty good position right here. Let's see if I can. For this, you know, I'm gonna try to do, I think it's risky, but I feel like doing 2 banks on this is a little easier than trying to do 1, because I don't know if I can get that angle. I feel like if I hit it here or here, I can bank it off there. So let's see if I can do a 2 rail. Ooh, wall warded. So, well, again, 3's not horrible, but. So that's something else I could try. I might wanna adjust my angle a little bit, because it seems like going down this side might make a little bit more sense to send it that way. So, let's see. Oh, that was nice. That was good. All right, yeah, I'm gonna have to do the 1 bank. Yeah, I kind of consider this dead wood, because it's not as secure as a regular wall, but let's try to bank it off anyways. Hey, all right, well, still a 3, but no 2. That's ideal. Not out far enough, but I think that's the idea. You know what? I ended up hitting this right wall and rounded it. You just end up getting way more momentum when you roll it off, as opposed to just banging solid off of it. So do that, and then, yeah, I should be able to bank it off this left wall. It should be pretty easy. Well, easy 3, but just keep trying these 2s. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I'm gonna try this back wall. Nice. Yeah, that's good. All right, let's try this I think a 2-wall bank is in order. Let's see if I can do this. Ah, wall warded. A little far back, but yeah, let's try that left wall. It seems like the better strategy is that if it leaves it back here, there's just no way to bank it off that back wall. So you kind of have to use that bar back there. Let's see if I can nail this. Ooh, look at that. Oh, wall wart took me out, but send me up. Cool. Well, still not a 2. Yeah, that's ideal. All right, let's try the 1 bank. Yeah, I got to hit lower on this, which is really dangerous. Hitting low on a wall, on a ramp, just, doesn't give you usually the hop that you need to get it up over that. So I definitely think the better strategy is a 2-wall, but you got this horrible scenario here, so you got to work with that. So I don't know, we'll find out. I think, ideally landing it back here so that you can get your 2 bank, you want to be able to hit this and make it in here. So, I think best case scenario is landing about right here. I think this is where you want to be, if not out here. That's ideal. All right. Yeah, let's try the 2 bank. I think I got a better chance of making it. No. Yeah, this wall where it's wide, man. It's like a double. It's a double wart. Yeah, I gotta hit here. I gotta go deeper here. So I gotta hit here, and it should go in. Ooh. Oh, look at that. That's a straight shot. Look at that. Oh, yeah, this ramp definitely pushes it left, so darn. Well, look what we got here. Let's see if I can thread this. Yeah, that's the way to do it. That is not ideal, but it still worked. I still want to keep trying. I want to see if I can bank it off this and see if I can still bank it off this wall. I still think that's a possibility. So even though I still got a 2 there, I want to keep trying for this. So what's happening more than not, I think almost 50% of the time, that if I don't hit this, I end up hitting this corner, which if you hit this corner, it kind of rounds out, hits here, and lands over here. This is a little far, but most of the time it lands back here, which is really ideal because you hit that, you leave it there, and honestly, this is the green, and this is the early fairway or the late fairway to the green that you should really practice. This here, just putting it in. There's no obstacles in the way, so there should be no excuses to get it in there. And actually, it's semi-center, so even if you're over here, you don't have to account too much for this ramp pushing it left and right. And obviously over here, you don't have to worry too much, but I would really practice this a lot, because if you can get it here in 2, it's a pretty easy 3. That's decent. All right, let's try that 1 bank. So I'm gonna go up about half this ramp here. Try to hit right here. It should work out. No, still good, but not in. Okay, it's a good spot. All right, let's try that 1 bank. I'm gonna go just probably a little bit past half this. I'm gonna hit right here. Hopefully that works. Ooh, all right. I think that was the right spot. Just like a tiny bit off. All right, let's try it off that back corner. Yeah, that back corner is an exact 45 degrees, so no matter what, you're gonna hit this, you're gonna get a straight shot here. So I don't think you can make it off this, or at least in my experience here, but you know, leaving it here is not horrible either. But let's still try to, I wanna leave it here. I'm gonna leave it right here and bank it off this and land it in. I got so close before. That's decent. All right, moment of truth. I'm gonna hit, probably gonna just hit about halfway up that ramp. Gotta hit a little harder though. Ooh, getting there. That could be good. Yeah, I'm gonna try a 2-rail, left, right, and then in. Oh, a little hard, but oh well. That's good. All right, let's try off that left wall again. I think there's enough trajectory here. Yeah, all right. That was a little hard. I was actually shooting to bank it off that wall, but it went in. All right, so summary here is I had a lot of opportunities for a 2, a lot of opportunities. And this ramp's very difficult to judge, especially when you're coming in from over here. This is just so hard because, again, you're hitting a wall on a ramp and then you have to deal with the bounce back and the ramp again. So this is very hard to judge. Given most of the time, it landed there anyway, so I got a 3. So trying for a 2, getting a 3, hey, I'll take it. I think that works really well. So I'm gonna keep with this strategy. I think my normal strategy anyways is to leave the ball in here. Most case scenario, when I was trying for the 2, I was hitting here, and God, I would say well over half the time, it hit here, bounced off here, landed here. At that point, it's very easy to lay it up over here, and then you got a straight shot. So that's your best opportunity. Hole in 2 is possible, but I wouldn't expect it. So, but that's it. That's the first 9. First 9 holes are complete for alternative strategies. So again, go to the links in the description below in the video. You will see links to the full playthrough, which is my version of the playthrough, what I feel like I do. And actually I ended up getting a 48 on the course on that video. So that was a non-stop video. So check that out. Then check out the holes 1 through 4 alternative strategies that I uploaded last week. And then this one obviously is hole 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And to summarize, 5's hole-in-oneable, 6 is hole-in-oneable, 7 is hole-in-oneable, but 8 and 9, you know, hole in 2 is pretty much what you're gonna be looking for. So again, tournament January 28th, $40 to enter and up to over $1,300 in cash prizes. So check that out, sign up, and next week we'll be adventuring into 10, 11, 12, and 13. Stay well, guys. Thank you.